Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the PWF Empire podcast. Jay here along with Cass and Andrew. They're trying to talk me into talking about the shining stars. And no, just no. How are you guys doing?
I'm just fine. I mean, like we have work, school. It takes a lot out of you, but I'm here to bring my expertise to this fine program.
Oh, me too. I'm here just to piss everybody off, probably.
Yeah.
Which you've been doing a good job at.
You tried to call me out before the show, talking about how I tried to give props to the club at Clash of Champions. Did I say class again? Clash.
They shouldn't have lost, though.
Yeah, that was my whole thing. The club, they looked damn good in that match, and that was the version of them that I wanted to see, but it was invalidated with the way that the match ended.
I agree. At this point,
it was New Japan, Gallows and Anderson, not WWE's version.
Midlife crisis, Gallows and Anderson.
It's pretty bad that Gallows was more over as Festus. Just saying.
Maybe they need to ring the bell. Was that the whole thing where he flips out? Was it
yeah.
Okay. Ring the bell.
That happens. Sorry.
I cannot hear anything you said. You just cut out.
Oh. Never. Well, it wasn't important. It was a bad joke. Moving on.
Okay, so, where do we begin? We were talking before the show.
Can we just say Raw sucked ass?
You didn't watch. I was just about to say that.
Yeah, I didn't watch people because as soon as New Day retained, I'm like, screw the three black guys wearing dildos on their heads. I'm done with this crap.
Okay. Well, actually, I did watch most of the first hour of Monday Night Raw. It was Roman Reigns versus Rusev for the United States Championship, and yeah, I didn't watch the rest
It was
of
a
the
fine match.
It was a good match, but it had no substance to it. Like I said this on the review of Clash of Champions. They've yet to explain why Roman Reigns even wants the United States Championship. I understand that it could do things for that title being on a big star of the caliber of Roman Reigns, but you need to explain to me what his motivation is in having it, and I just don't get that character at all.
There is no reason. Just simply.
Roman Reigns did this interview with Michael Cole on WWE.com, and what was interesting to me about the interview is at one point Cole was talking about how he saw all of this frustration in Roman Reigns. He was like, yeah, I've been sitting back and I've been watching you over these last few months, and I've sensed a bit of frustration in you. And Roman started to talk about, yeah, there was frustration because I lacked direction and there wasn't much going on. But he was talking about how he had direction right now. And I really hated that part because stuff like that chaps my ass. WWE frequently does this, especially when it comes to Roman Reigns. They love signaling this image of perfection with Roman Reigns, where they don't tell us about his struggles until after he's already passed over them. For example, when he won the WWE Championship in Philadelphia, because that was the place where they rejected him for winning the Royal Rumble. And yeah, they completely shot all over his win of the Royal Rumble, almost booed the dude out of the building. Then he comes back months later, wins the WWE Championship, and he does that promo after the show when he's talking about how he struggled and this was such an achievement for him. He felt like he needed to do it right this time around, and he talked about all of the challenges and the obstacles that he had to overcome. And my question at that point was, okay, why won't you tell us that story on screen? Why are you not adding some substance, adding some layers to this guy's character? And this is the same exact thing now. Michael Cole, the fucking narrator of WWE stories, he's sitting on Monday night at the commentary table on Monday Night Raw every single week, but he has never communicated that message to the viewers that Roman Reigns was frustrated. But now all of a sudden he wants to tell us a story like, oh yeah, Roman Reigns was frustrated, but now everything is cool because he has the United States Championship. How can I invest in that?
Bring up the Clash of Champions. Roman Reigns didn't specifically say ever that he wanted the United States Championship, and it goes back to one of the things where whoever wears one of the mid-card championships pretty much determines on how important it is. Because honestly, when I look at a guy like Roman Reigns, especially since he was WWE World Champion just a few months ago, I don't see him. Like I said, I don't have a problem with Reigns with the United States title, but he just doesn't. Like, he doesn't look like he fits that mold of a mid-card champion, if that makes sense.
No, I completely agree with you. And as weird as this is, him holding that title, like, for some reason, makes me feel like that's the X Division title. And the reason I say that is because whenever someone in TINA, which I haven't watched TINA in a long time, but whenever someone had...
Oh, shade!
Whenever someone had TINA, that title, they would always, there was always that intrigue if they would cash it in to go for one of the big championships. That's how I feel like Roman views that title. Or that's how, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, he doesn't care about it. Like, the only way I accept that reign is if, reign, pun, if he puts someone over that deserves to be over eventually. Like, but right now, it really doesn't matter because all he did was ruin Rusev's character again, which was just starting to be, better. Just starting to get back to that monster heel. I don't know.
But what's supposed to happen with Roman Reigns that puts him in a position to put someone else over? Because that dude needs help himself.
Yeah, like seriously, it's hard because now that, and this is an issue that I'm surprised they didn't pick up off of. When you give Roman Reigns the United States Championship, you can give him the championship, but remember, he has to defend it. Mm-hmm. Who on that Raw roster right now that looks like a credible threat to Roman Reigns to take that championship from him? Not many. And remember when I broke down my mid-card Raw 5 last week? None of those guys on that list look like a credible threat to Roman Reigns defeating him for that United States Championship, because most of those guys on that list have been marginalized, especially Cesaro and Sheamus, especially since now they're going to be in a tag team, which I actually do want to talk about.
Okay, what you got to say about that one?
It's weird. I wouldn't have planned it. However, as a big fan of tag team wrestling, I'll take it. But real quick, go ahead.
If Sheamus or Cesaro would have actually won that Best of 7 series, would one of them came out credible enough to take on Roman Reigns?
We'll never know.
I think so. Because
I remember when they were doing the tournament, I don't remember how long ago this was, Kalisto beat Ryback in the first round. That's in that tournament. Cesaro faced Roman Reigns in a match, I think it was in the quarterfinals, and that match was excellent on Raw. So if they were to actually put them in some kind of program, that'd be fantastic. I don't know how well it would go over. Roman would probably get even more boots, and Cesaro's so, he's a fan favorite, but that would be great.
You know what I don't get? Honestly, I'm fine with Cesaro and Sheamus teaming. What I don't get is, why did WWE just go with the easy decision? This is an easy choice by them, because honestly, I did not give two shits about that Best of 7 match featuring Cesaro and Sheamus until it picked up towards the end at Clash of Champions. And with them going with a non-finish for that, I got over it. But it's just like, that was one of those matches to where you were able to get people to care about them. You were able to get people to wanting to see what happens next. And the fact that you follow up with them just forming in one of those unlikely tag teams, which actually, if you look back in history, unlikely tag teams are one of the most successful tag teams. I mean, just look at Team Hell No. Look at MVP and Matt Hardy. Charlie Haas and Rico, if anybody remembers that.
I can't help but think in storyline terms, Mick Foley and Stephanie are giving them the runaround. They're like, oh, let's just give them some busy work. To let them do some shit that'll keep them out of our hair, stop them from complaining. That's what it seems like to me.
I will give Mick Foley credit for the way he put over Cesaro and Sheamus Monday. I looked at the clip and I will give him credit for that, because it's very rare that you see Mick Foley like show like real emotion for everything that he says, because it sounds like he's just uttering words all the time. But he actually put over Cesaro and Sheamus like I have never seen them put over, in my opinion. So, and by the way, Cesaro and Sheamus, if you guys can dethrone the 3 black dudes wearing dildos on their heads, I will take you, because these guys need to lose those fucking belts.
It sounds like you're over New Day.
I hate them.
I wouldn't go as far as to say I hate New Day. It's just that they've what exactly am I trying to say here? They're not pushing the envelope in the way that they did when they were at their peak. Like when New Day was hot, they were coming out there and they were being entertaining. They were experimenting with the different things that they did in the segments and what they talked about. But it's like they've settled into their pattern where it's like you know what to expect every time you see New Day, and they are nowhere near as hot, as entertaining, as popping as they used to be. And
when they were heels, pretty much.
Even at some point during the face turn, maybe you could say that that's where the decline started, when they when they turned face. But we still got some good stuff. But we still got some good stuff with New Day as faces, and the argument can be made that they didn't change anything because they didn't need to change anything. The crowd was
90 seconds.
The crowd was begging to cheer them when they were heels, but the point is, like, they have devolved to a point where I look at them as just another tag team. That's all they are right now.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that. Like, I still think that I think they have a lot to offer the division. One, even though some people are still getting tired of them, they're still consistently entertaining.
60 seconds.
That is distracting. There's a tag team I feel like that still has a lot more to offer.
Oh boy.
But they're a team. What happened? What, you just disagreeing with me?
You mean the Shining Shits?
Yeah. Was that the team you were talking about? Or you're
No, the New Day.
No, you said there's another team that had something to offer.
Oh no, I said they're just another team. Oh, what did I say that? I don't know. I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say that they're a team I feel like this still has a lot to offer because they're consistently entertaining. Are people getting tired of the act? Sure, but I don't think it's time quite yet to dethrone them. I would probably
10 seconds.
Next major pay-per-view.
The time was that Night of Champions.
You mean Clash of the Champions? Oh wait, no, it was
Champions. Whatever the hell.
Yeah, it was Clash of Champions. But here's the thing, Andrew. I do agree with you that even though a lot of people are fatigued of New Day, which I'm one of them, they still are somewhat entertaining. But it's just the problem is you've had. Here's the thing. Every time I see New Day, I don't think that they're the tag team champions. Like seriously, like anytime I see them, I don't see the belts. And the problem is when you overshadow the people with like intertwining with the belts, and the fact is that the only time that they care about the championships is when there's a title match, then that's a problem because you don't want to take away the importance of what the tag team titles can bring to that team if you're just gonna overshadow them with just how great they are. Like, I seriously want to take those tag team titles off of them and actually give them to a team that can actually use them and help put them over. New Day is over to the point to where they don't need the goddamn championships anymore. But here's the thing. another problem that they've run into is the fact that since you've given New Day this long reign, you have to give some kind of big payoff to the team, whoever knocks them off for those belts.
Or you could do the exact... Go ahead.
Well, I guess now Sheamus and Cesaro, that could be the team that takes the titles from them.
No, I want to do the opposite. I want to
switch Superman.
I want to put the United States Championship on Big E.
Okay, how do we get the titles off? You're saying add the United States Championship to everything that's going on now?
Yeah, have them run with both of them. Have them be an empire, man. The New Day Empire.
Are you trying to make Raw unwatchable?
Not. You say that on the panel of 3 people who did not watch Raw, so I mean,
right?
Something is already going on now. But I guess that's a segue into our next conversation. So I said on PWF Empire Live's review of Clash of Champions that I'm no longer watching Monday Night Raw. I felt liberated from the show, and there was an interesting conversation that was going on in the chat when I said this. We had 2 of the viewers of the program. They were having a little talk after I said I wasn't going to watch Raw on Monday, and one of the people, they said, now that I'm not watching Raw, watch Raw. At this point it was Sunday, so he says now watch is Raw, tomorrow is amazing, and Jay misses the whole show. And someone responds back saying, LOL, yeah, The Rock and Lesnar are gonna show up. And I couldn't help but chuckle at that, because I'm looking like, okay, well, your definition of the show being awesome or amazing is 2 part-timers showing up and overshadowing everyone on the roster. And I've been put into that situation before because I've played into exactly what WWE wanted me to. But as I said before, I'm liberated now. And I don't take pride or enjoyment in someone like The Rock or Brock Lesnar coming back, and like people will make the comments, oh, they're more over than everybody on the roster, and they're more awesome, and they're bigger stars than everybody on the roster. I don't take pride in that anymore. And that's also not my definition of what an amazing show is, because what I think is missing from Monday Night Raw is continuity, compelling programming from week to week, and 2 part-timers showing up and overshadowing the roster and doing whatever the hell they do and then leaving. That doesn't really excite me anymore. And I see that there are a lot of people who have bought into this model from WWE, and they think exactly the way that WWE wants them to. Like it's like they're conditioned to accept the format that WWE employs, especially on Monday Night Raw, where it's like, this show overall is bad, but I can't stop watching, because if I stop watching, I'm going to miss that shocking moment. I'm going to miss that surprise return. I'm going to miss that great appearance by so-and-so. And that just does not do it for me anymore. That model is bullshit, and I refuse to accept it at this point. Like, I can't look at what's going on right now and say, this is not enough. This is not adequate, but I got to keep watching, because if I don't, I'm going to miss that shock value. That does nothing for me anymore.
See, it's
what
it's
I
funny.
found interesting.
No, go ahead, dude.
Real quick back to Clash of Champions. What I found interesting is the fact that the way that show was laid out and formatted is the fact that you didn't have like the Braun Strowman squash match. You didn't have like the Bo Dallas squash matches. You didn't have the Darren Young, Tyus O'Neil thing that they've been able to pencil in on Raw every single week, which is on Clash of Champions, you actually had the matches that mattered, that featured the superstars that you actually care about. Whereas when that resonates to weekly television, that's when they throw like the jobber stuff in, because it's pretty much just like you only watch the people that you like for moments and not necessarily for the like the little build or basically the lower card people that get time on Raw versus the important people that get time on the pay-per-view I think is the problem.
Yeah. What I was going to say is that you actually kind of correlated it right with what Kevin Owens said on Talk is Jericho. He was on Jericho's podcast right after he won the Universal Championship. And he was talking about how when people watch wrestling, he thinks that people don't care about most of the match. People only remember moments, like Shane jumping off the cell or, Brock defeating The Undertaker. You don't remember the rest of the match. You just remember moments, and that's what people and fans care about. So I think it's funny that you kind of flip the script on exactly what KO said, a few weeks ago now.
That's so disappointing. Because I'm not going to say he's... You know what? I am going to say he's towing that company line. Because I wonder, why is it that Vince McMahon has done everything in his fucking power to push WWE as an entertainment product that could be compared to other avenues of entertainment on TV. For example, weekly episodic programming. They say it, Monday Night Raw, the longest running weekly episodic show in history, and he's done so much to distance what WWE is from a certain perspective from traditional professional wrestling and pitch it as an entertainment product, but we can't judge you by that same standard. I can't judge you by the standard that is set on Breaking Bad or The Wire, where you have characters and they have, stories that are told on a week-to-week basis, and you actually get payoff to moments that happen, and you build up to something and it actually happens, and you don't just, if Monday Night Raw was a regular TV show, like a scripted television series, it would be the worst fucking show on TV. It would be. And we can't judge it by that standard for some reason, and that, I'm so confused as to why not.
I don't know. It's a good conversation that needs to happen between the writers and the people backstage, because if people want to watch, I feel like when people tune into wrestling, they want to enjoy the entire match, because if they didn't, they would just watch highlight videos after the show. I don't know.
It's that 3-hour format too. It's just seriously, how in the world do you fit your squash matches with Braun Strowman and Nia Jax and the Bo Dallas mess that's been going around for way too long? You're telling me that you're able to make time for those guys, but you're not able to make actual time for the important people? And yes, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, the top main superstars that people tune in to watch on Monday Night Raw. Get this, you gave Roman Reigns and Rusev a good 30 minutes on Raw, and you had them in the opening match. But yeah, as soon as we see, Bo Dallas squash this jobber, then it's nah, we can't watch this anymore. It's what's wrong with trying to fit the important stuff back to back, and not necessarily leave the enhancement talent out, but feature them in a different way that doesn't insult the viewer's intelligence.
Yeah, there is something structurally wrong with Monday Night Raw. I was going to say I can't put my finger on it, but shit, I know. It's a 3-hour show. And even if that third hour was gone, you could still tell that things are done differently on Raw versus SmackDown. For example, everything that's going on with Dolph Ziggler, right? Solid B+ show.
No, it's the A show. It's officially the A show by default.
No, fuck that default BS. I'm not giving them a pass to an A grading on a curve. No, if they deal with Randy Orton If they find a way for Nikki Bella to realize that somebody is trying to end her fucking career and stop smiling and being giggly and cute all the damn time.
Happy.
Yeah. Like, figure
let me
those
tell you
two
something.
things out, and maybe I'll see about revising the grade. But what I was going to say is that look at what's going on with Dolph Ziggler. That has been a story that they've been invested in for the long haul. What's going on right now directly connects to Dolph Ziggler becoming the number one contender to the champion, the WWE Championship, him being unceremoniously defeated by Dean Ambrose, him failing in the matches with The Miz. Every single thing that has happened for Dolph Ziggler since he stepped foot onto SmackDown, it led to what's going on with him right now, a career versus title match. That type of storytelling does not happen on Monday Night Raw. The same person that you see one week probably won't be the person that you see the next week when it comes to the characterization. It's whatever we need to do to serve us in this one moment, we're going to do it. And shit, exactly like Kevin Owens is saying, we're going to give you moments, even if the moment that happened last week doesn't connect to the one that happens this week. And I'm not cool with that at all.
See, and it's funny that they've been that consistent with Dolph Ziggler. Like, they're not even that consistent with, Seth Rollins on Raw.
Oh, yes. His character
and
dynamic.
You have a mid-carder versus, a challenger to the World Championship.
Right? No, it's pretty bad. That I know you wouldn't agree with this, but if Dolph Ziggler comes out of this for the better, and in a few months he was challenging for the title again, you wouldn't like it, but at least you could be behind his character because it's kind of a redemption thing. I feel like on Raw it's just like random as hell. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or if The Miz started going after the championship, you're behind his character.
Yes.
Like you can do that, but on Raw, like I'm just gonna pull a name out of my head because this is what they fucking do. If Neville became the number one contender next week, everyone would be like, "What the hell? Like where's he been?" Or you know what I mean? Or Sami Zayn, he's a perfect one. Mm-hmm. Like when he won a few months ago, they didn't do crap with it, and now months later, now he's finally. I don't know. They're stupid, man.
See, here's the type of line of thinking that I have. The matches should matter a lot more than they do right now, and it's so crazy that WWE does this, where it's like they're trying to play to the indie audience, but then they're not in certain aspects because they want you to get wrapped up in the look of the matches, the cool and shit. Once again, here we go with the whole Kevin Owens thing. They want us to look at all of the moments, but they don't want us to think any further than that. There was a match that happened, and I forgot when this match was, but it was Neville versus Seth Rollins when Seth Rollins was a WWE champion.
I remember that.
And Neville took Seth Rollins to the damn limit. I'm the type of person.
Nearly beat him.
Yeah, I'm the type of. Yeah, there was like a crazy.
Yeah, when you hit the red arrow off the top. Yeah, when you hit the red arrow off the top rope, and Neville literally had to pull Seth towards the ropes because that wasn't even supposed to happen.
Yep. And that was one of the most amazing near falls I've ever seen in my life, whether it was intentional or not. But my point is, he looked so damn good in that match. I'd still be talking about that shit right now. Neville took Seth Rollins, the WWE champion, to the limit, and you use that to define who his character is and push him forward. Even if he lost the match, they don't do stuff like that.
Exactly. You don't have to win to make your character better. Case in point, Dolph motherfucking Ziggler.
Yeah. Boom, there you go.
It's just so weird because honestly, and Jay, when I brought my when I had my list last week and I brought up like one of the big storylines that keeps the people tuned in for each show, right now the big storyline that's going on right now for SmackDown to keep people tuned in is the Dolph Ziggler thing. And right now on Raw,
well, I'd say the Miz thing.
Yeah, the Miz I'm gonna give Dolph Ziggler and the Miz credit. I'll actually give them credit.
The Miz and Dolph Ziggler thing.
And honestly, what Raw's major storyline is right now is the whole Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens authority thing, favoring the authority thing, and who is the overall person that people are really trying to tune in to see who does what next. Triple H. But where in the world has he been for the last month? He hasn't been anywhere. And if you have a big storyline like that, that's the only reason why people are tuned in to see, and the fact that Triple H doesn't even show up, not even say nothing, then that's a problem for the show overall, because if that's the only thing that they want to see, then they're not going to watch it.
Yeah. So basically, to sum up this conversation, fuck the model that WWE employs over on Raw. And I know I'm saying all of this, and I'm going to end up watching Raw once again, because we're making some changes to the website, and I'm going to have to. But I'm not going to stop holding their feet to the fire, because something needs to change. And I'm hoping that it does, but I'm enjoying my time being liberated before I head back to the
Screw that.
penitentiary.
The only
Screw
thing
that. Let me go to Hulu.
the only thing I feel like I'm consistently enjoying on Raw right now is the Cruiserweight division, and that they're not even allowed to do everything that they're supposed to.
And even that is having some issues, unfortunately.
No, I agree it's having some issues, but no one, like, Brian Kendrick, he's a great character right now. Like, he's bringing over that character from the CWC with a little bit more aggression. TJ Perkins needs some more mic time, but
he needs practice.
Maybe the thing is he's practicing a little too much. I could just imagine somebody is like, okay, here's what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
And I want you to, hand them that script, because that promo that he cut, what was it, at Clash of Champions? I was like, no. That
was Vanilla Midget personified promo.
There you go, Andrew.
There I go. That's what I was talking about. See, we're talking about cruiserweights. What's one of the first thing he says? Vanilla Midget.
Yeah, but just so you know, Cass, before the show, Andrew was like, does Cass dislike cruiserweights? Because he always, is calling them vanilla midgets and stuff.
No, that's just what they are. I love them, but
TJ Perkins is brown.
The vanilla in vanilla midgets does not refer to the color of the person. It refers to basically the most plain flavor you can find is vanilla.
Okay.
Like standard. So that's what the vanilla refers to. Just like plain, boring. No Neapolitan. Okay. No butter pecan.
Yeah, man.
So is Dean Ambrose a vanilla midget?
He's kind of tall, so no. See what I did there? Yeah. So one of those things is off. But speaking of Dean Ambrose, he got
mollywopped.
Perfect word to describe it.
He got mollywopped by Cena.
My God. Man, that was amazing on Talking Smack. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the best promos I've seen John Cena give in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like it was just so it just felt so natural from Cena, which
inappropriate.
Inappropriately unnatural, but it was awesome, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just say that this just proves to show you that Talking Smack is I'm saying this right now, it is the most underrated show on the network right now.
Mm-hmm.
It really is, because technically SmackDown is 2.5 hours when you have Talking Smack, but it's just, again, not a lot of people have the network. And again, if you don't have a lot of people watching SmackDown, then what makes you think they're going to go on Talking Smack and watch? And when they even pull up the YouTube clips, they don't even show the full clip, which they do need to do. Seriously, they do need to do that. But
and you know what? When you just said SmackDown is basically 2.5 hours, the cool thing about that is never at one point do I go, shit, more stuff.
Yes.
I look forward to it every single week. And that is the thing that I've told myself in my mind, too. SmackDown is essentially 2.5 hours, and I look forward to it every week. I'm like, if I'm watching SmackDown, I'm going to watch Talking Smack. That's just the way that it is. And what's so great is that they change up the format and they give you something different. They're still pushing storylines, entertaining stuff is going on, but the format
they don't stop.
The format is different to a point where it's like, this is not more of the same. This is kind of the same, but different enough to where you don't feel overwhelmed, and that's something great that they're doing with Talking Smack.
Here's the thing: I didn't even feel as if Cena changed anything about him from that promo. Because we get the sayings on how, oh man, does this mean he's turning heel?
Yeah,
and then
it was John Cena.
Yeah, that ship has sailed, and the fact that he said he does, it's not the fact that he doesn't like Dean Ambrose, it's just the fact that he doesn't care about Dean Ambrose.
He had so many shots in there. What was another one where he said, you are the 5 people that you're around the most, or something like that. And he said, I don't hang around Dean Ambrose because he would slow me down. I was like, holy shit.
I'll be honest with you. When he said that Dean Ambrose was the worst member of the Shield, that honestly was a nail in the coffin for me. Like, yeah, he owned you. He completely owned you if he's going that far, because you know how much.
That says something. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know how much people love the Shield. but what sucks about it is that Dean Ambrose, well, the way we see it, that was his best work when he was in the Shield.
Mm-hmm. What else do we have to discuss?
NXT.
Before we get to NXT, Andrew, you got anything?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to get your guys' opinion. According to WhatCulture.com, Cesaro and Dolph Ziggler might be out of the company, both within 6 months.
Mm. Now, on the Cesaro side, I haven't heard anything about that one. Yeah. It seems to be like a lot of stuff is going on with him being in the tag team with Sheamus now, and
you can tell he don't like it though.
Well, he doesn't even like his own music. He said in an interview recently he hates his own music.
I've been telling people that for months, and they haven't believed me. Finally.
Yeah, you say you're the tag team wrestling aficionado. You're also the expert on theme songs and things too. You guys don't know this about Cass, but he knows the words to every fucking theme song that has ever existed in the entire history of wrestling, and he sings them just
really?
Like. No, I'm exaggerating, but.
I'll say I have a request, dude. Can you sing Mr. America's theme song?
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop right there.
Now he'll be like, "Do you remember so and so's theme song from 1992?" And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But back to Cesaro. Yeah, I haven't heard much on him. I don't know about that one because he's being courted by Daniel Bryan over on SmackDown, but with Dolph Ziggler, it's funny because I looked at that promo that Dolph Ziggler cut on SmackDown, which was a damn good promo, and I felt the passion and everything in that. But I immediately after hearing that promo, I was like, okay, let me try to find some kind of way where Dolph Ziggler could stay in WWE. Okay, what's going to happen is he's going to win the title from The Miz. The Miz is going to move to the world title picture. AJ Styles is going to turn face, and then he's going to feud with The Miz. And I'm thinking of all of this shit just because I'm like, Dolph Ziggler, he's not leaving WWE. Because The Miz, he threw it out there like, I'm not talking about taking 30 days off or whatever he said, or going to NXT or going to Raw. Like, when I say you're done, you're done. And I'm thinking they're not going to have him leave WWE. So I'm thinking of all of these ways around him, quote-unquote, retiring. But this story comes out, and I'm like, well, damn, could he be leaving?
I wouldn't be shocked if Cesaro did leave, because he's even expressed openly, not just on screen, but actually in like little shoot promos here and there. You can tell that he's just not happy in the position that he's in. So, but like I said, as far as the Dolph Ziggler thing, I did hear rumblings, and again, take it for about as a grain of salt, but that he could possibly be gone, which is probably, of course, this led to the whole career versus title match thing, if that is what they're leading to. But it would suck to lose Cesaro for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. He's one of the best actual in-ring people that they have right now. I mean, he's not great on the microphone. I think we can all agree on that. But if you're just looking for somebody that personifies what you want as a in-ring technician and a superstar, like the way he looks, it's Cesaro. Like, that's the guy who Vince is like this guy. Maybe if he was like 5 inches taller, but you know what I mean.
Hey, remember? Hey, Jay, you said that you were asking about a scenario where Dolph Ziggler loses and he could possibly come back. Anybody remember The Miz when he got fired because he lost a match to John Cena back in 2009? And
Mr.
then the next
Canada.
week, when he showed up as the Calgary Kid.
Yeah. For whatever reason, I looked the Calgary Kid up like 2 weeks ago. I don't remember why, but yeah, I looked that up.
Yeah.
He's gonna come back as Kerwin White's caddy again.
See, I want him to be gone for a while though.
Not like when John Cena got fired after Survivor Series and his butt was back the next week.
Not like that at all. No. Like, go be gone for a while. Go do what is he, like a comedian now? Go do that. Go be funny, or at least
he needs
try
time
to.
off because he's been on WWE television consistently for what?
Mm-hmm.
How long now?
Way too long.
Yeah. He's been there for a while. Let me see.
He's been here since 2006.
And I remember back a few years ago they were talking about how Dolph Ziggler and Kofi Kingston faced each other over 100 times on free TV.
They did. But here's the thing. That was when Dolph Ziggler, I always felt, was at his peak. And was at the peak of his career. Because remember all the times when they would give him the United States Championship and they would give him the Intercontinental Championship on some occasions, but yet it never went anywhere?
Dolph Ziggler was at his peak late 2014.
That too.
He was so damn good back then, and the story that they were telling with the Authority sucks that they dropped that out of nowhere.
Well, they brought it back up before WrestleMania. Dolph was like, I defeated you 6 months ago. Now I'm going to defeat you tonight, Triple H. And then they never brought it up again.
Yeah. But I can say now that this I've been consistent with my love for the delusional uppity jobber Dolph Ziggler, and I'm glad that it's come to this point. One way or another, I think that we're going to get some great stuff at No Way Out. Him versus The Miz, career versus title.
Yeah. So with Cesaro going out of the company potentially, do you think that there's any chance him and Sheamus will win the championships now?
See, I don't know about that one because I don't know how much stock to put into that one, because at least with Dolph Ziggler we can see an opening for him to leave the company, but with Cesaro there's too much going on for me to be able to say that, okay, this is definitely the direction that it's going in.
I mean, Del Rio left out of nowhere, even though he appeared on WWE programming this week. Did you notice he was in the commercial for WWE 2K17?
I did. That was an awesome commercial too. That was like WWE's version of Lucha Underground, if they actually cared that much about characters and stuff.
I thought that was strange. Like, all right, he's out of here, and then he reappears back up. It's, I don't know. Anyway, that I was just wondering because Cesaro's might be going out. I think he's great. I think he should win, but is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, somebody needs to take some bodies need to take the title from New Day. Maybe they
Please, somebody. Somebody from the heavens.
They need to put those titles on the Revival. That'd be a great feud.
Give them
New Day and
all
the
the
Revival.
titles. Give them all the titles.
Andrew, you just gave me a great fantasy booking idea, which I'm going to be able to elaborate next week about this, because that'd be so great if the Revival beat New Day.
Well, speaking of tag teams, let's go ahead and kick things off with NXT review. First up, we had William Regal in the ring, and he was discussing the return of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. It'll be starting off next week, I believe.
Yep, and next week, it's going to kick off with the first tournament match feud with the NXT Tag Team Champions, the Revival, taking on the team of Andreas Giannomis and Cedric Alexander. I cannot wait for this. I'm actually going to be doing some coverage of my own about this. I didn't get a chance to do it last year because I I didn't get a chance to watch NXT as much as I did last year, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be able to cover this, and I'll be covering match by match. I'm going to be doing my own play-by-play, and I'll be uploading them to my channel because I really am digging the tournament style of this, and just William Regal, once again, the second best general manager in history, in my opinion, on this program. But yeah, I can't wait for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic to start back up again. It's going to be great.
Okay, and the first match of the night on NXT this week was Tye Dillinger versus Angelo Dawkins. Tye Dillinger wins with the tiebreaker.
Oh, that's not the real story. Screw that. This is the real story, people.
Good win for my homeboy Tye. But after the match, here's the real story here. Bobby Roode comes out, and he pretty much personally selects, like, handpicks Tye Dillinger to be his partner for the Tag Team Classic. And
this is great.
He said that it would be a partnership that is perfectly glorious. I don't know what it is. I know what it is because Tye Dillinger is fucking awesome, and I'm glad to see him getting some shine now. I felt so, like, satisfied sitting there watching that, like, with a big smile on my face. Like, look at this. A superstar of the caliber of Bobby Roode is looking at Tye Dillinger saying that he's impressive. You know, he's not quite a perfect 10, but he's going to help him get there. And he picks him as his partner for the Tag Team Classic. And the way that Bobby Roode placed importance on the Tag Team Classic, and he said, you are going to be my ticket to winning this thing, I fucking love that.
That puts importance on how important not only the tournament, but also the people that are going to be involved throughout the tournament, which is what I like. Like, people... You guys already knew I bought this as soon as I heard Bobby Roode's music come out. It was already glorious. Like, you have the perfect 10 and the glorious one. You cannot get any better than that, people. Like, I was just so happy, and I'm actually coming up with some names for all these teams that are partnering up. Like, I'm coming with names. Like, I have a name for Dillinger and Roode already. Glorious 10.
Well, they call themselves. Well, Bobby Roode called them perfectly glorious.
That's fine with me. I'm still gonna be coming up with different names for these guys.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I should question the sincerity of this partnership. Like, how sincere was Bobby Roode in this?
Who cares? I just want to see these guys team up.
Yeah, we see them lose a match, and Bobby Roode is gonna beat his ass.
Yep.
But I like that, though, if it gets to that point, though. Yeah. Like, make a story out of this.
Okay, next up we have the Ealy brothers versus the Revival. That match never happened, though, because Samoa Joe came out and he wrecked shop. And I have to say, I didn't expect to see the Revival on this show, so I did pop when their music hit.
Say yeah!
But yeah, the Ealy brothers, they got the hell beat out of them by Samoa Joe. And they
got mollywopped.
Yeah, and the Revival, they were watching everything that happened. They were like, okay, you got this, Joe. We're just gonna head to the back, you know. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're the top guys.
Yeah, we don't get involved in these little trivial matters. But I guess it wasn't trivial at all because Samoa Joe, after the match, he cut a promo. I have the whole promo right here. It was pretty short, but he says, and I quote, William Regal, what you see here are the first two victims of your inability to make a decision. I warned you, and you chose not to heed my warning. So the beatings will continue until your decisiveness improves. Bring me Nakamura or hand me my championship. Short, not sweet at all, because that was kind of like, goddamn. But yeah.
Effective nonetheless.
Yeah, very effective. I continue to love who Samoa Joe is and everything that Samoa Joe does. So this was right along the...
good continuity, too, which is another thing that NXT does fantastically at.
Great stuff from Samoa Joe here. Next up, we had Mandy Rose versus Ember Moon. Ember Moon wins here.
That's all you need to know, people.
What you also need to know is that Mandy Rose, she looked nice in this match.
Yeah, I'll give it to her. Like, I don't know if you went back and you saw the promo that she cut on Ember Moon last week on NXT, but she did very well. Again, this is...
Wait, she cut a promo on Ember Moon last week?
She did.
I remember you saying something about another women's segment. I guess I missed that one.
That was Liv Morgan. Like, I'm glad they're giving these women time though to express their grievances about the top women in the division right now, because that shows that they care about their spots.
Yeah, and Ember Moon, she's great as always. Mandy Rose. I was talking to Charlie about this on Twitter because he likes Mandy, and
Yeah,
it's one of those things where it's the same thing with Becky Lynch for him. Like, he saw Becky Lynch and he was like, I like her. And he was like, I'm hoping that she's good in the ring. Because he decided that he liked her before he even saw her, compete in the freaking ring. But when it comes to Mandy Rose, we were talking about how she has some potential. There was a nice bicycle knee that she hit in the ring. And at the very least, I can say Mandy Rose has a competent foundation to build upon. She's not, well, I was about to say
she's like a natural heel.
I was about to say she's not much to look at, but I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, how dare you? How dare you?
Basically what I'm saying is that she has some polishing to do and she has some evolving to do, but what you need to get to a point where you can be something that's worth somebody's while, like, what you need is a solid foundation, and she has that. So whatever they build up on that, I'm willing to see. But good outing here.
I like the fact that on how they already just made her a heel, because you can tell that's a natural heel just by seeing her. And if I can feel like the naturalness from that person of, I'm not supposed to like you, but if you can get me to the point to where if you do your job right and your character right, then go on ahead.
Okay, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, they cut a promo backstage.
They're part of the tournament as well.
Yeah, they revealed their checklist. They have a few items on that checklist. Win the Dusty Rhodes Classic, beat the Revival, and win the NXT Tag Team titles. Check. I don't want to make earlier. I really don't want to make earlier predictions, but I need to see Gargano and Ciampa in the finals. I will say that. I'll be fine. Well, what was the final of the Tag Team Classic last year?
Finn Balor and Samoa Joe versus Baron Corbin and Rhino.
Yeah,
because one of the things that the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic did do very well, I thought, last year was it established teams. Like the Revival are definitely the team that benefited so much from the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic last year, because I remember when they were just getting their feet wet, and everybody said that was a team that nobody even expect to get to the final four teams, but yet they proved how good they were of proving that old school mentality of no flips, just fixed, and you were able to progress them heading into the finals, and they were able to look credible against the team of Finn Balor and Samoa Joe, and they almost beat them. Like, get this. Even American Alpha, you can make an argument that they were also made during the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, because not only because of the matches that they had, but the way they progressed, and also leading into the match against Baron Corbin and Rhino. Even though they didn't win, they still came out looking good, and their build to the NXT Tag Team titles didn't stop. So there was definitely some benefit from the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic last year.
Go ahead, Andrew.
I'm a small spoiler just for one of the teams that are going to be in. They haven't announced it yet, but I'm really looking forward to the Bollywood Boys.
Oh, yes, from GFW. Those guys are great.
Yeah, I feel like if they at least make it to the second round, that there will be a permanent NXT fixture, and they're great. Both of the Bollywood Boys were in the Cruiserweight Classic, for anyone who remembers them. So just building off what you said, like, there's a lot of opportunities there to make new tag team stars between the Bollywood Boys or the Authors of Pain if they want to go, that route. There's a lot of different things that they can do, and I really hope this is even half as good as last time. But it should be better because a lot of the teams are more established.
Yeah, and that's why I brought up the winners from last year, because they had makeshift tag teams in the finals, and they use stuff like that to push storylines in other parts of the show, because that's a big reason Samoa Joe and Finn Balor, that's a big reason why Samoa Joe is even who he is right now, because of the stuff that occurred after that partnership between him and Finn Balor. So it'll be interesting to see how they balance the makeshift tag teams versus the more established tag teams, because the tag team division in NXT, it has exploded.
TM61 is part of it too.
Okay. What do we
Am
have?
I the only one not excited? I mean, you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but I don't like the pairing of Kota Ibushi and Hideo Itami.
That was a weird one for me.
Like, I feel like they just put them together because they're both Asian.
Well, their eyes are shut most of the time, so I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know. It just seems really, out of all the random pairings, like, that's just the most random. Kota Ibushi is not even in NXT, like, at all. Right?
Yeah, he's not.
He's had a match there before, I think.
Yeah, he's had a match there, but he's not, like, signed.
Yeah, it seems strange. I feel like they're going to go out in the first round.
I get this. There's another tag team that called. This is actually a tag team with Tucker Knight in it, but I don't know what his partner's name is. Tucker Knight.
Who?
Exactly. But they're called. This is a tag team called the Heavy Machinery. So that's definitely a team that's not getting to the second round.
Okay. What else do we have? Continuing on with the tag teams, the Authors of Pain versus Jesus Yurnet and Jonathan Cruz.
The Authors of Pain are doing their job.
Yes, this was one of the most entertaining matches I've seen with them.
I still can't tell them apart, and I still don't know their damn names, but I can tell you they're doing their job.
Akam and Razor.
I was just gonna go with Umaga and Rikishi, but that works.
As long as it's AR, right?
Yeah. but I'm glad the Authors of Pain, like again, and Jay, it goes back to what we've said. Like, I wasn't really feeling them for like the first couple of weeks, and again, I had to give them time to progress, and they're progressing definitely. Like, they're getting better. Like, in terms of like doing their jobs of being just two big dudes that just mow people. Now, if they ever have an NXT tag team title match, that's definitely a different story. But yeah, they're doing fine.
And after the match, Paul Ellering, their manager, cut a promo saying the first chapter began with the arrival. The next chapter will unleash a plethora of pain. And for now, that is all you need to know.
And that is all we need to know.
All you need to know.
Yeah, that is all we need to know.
Okay.
I think Randy Orton could learn from these promos.
Okay, and continuing more tag teams. Backstage, we have Blake and Murphy bickering in William Regal's office, and he dismissed them.
Good.
Yeah.
Like, they're two bubbling idiots, so he's supposed to do that.
I don't give one iota of a fuck about them without Alexa Bliss.
I didn't know why you cared about them before.
Because of Alexa Bliss.
That still didn't deter me, because they would get this. Honestly, I said this before. They would have been. They are the. Get this. Adrian Nova and Corey Graves would have been the worst NXT tag team champions in history. If Blake and Murphy hadn't showed up.
Okay. Next up, we have Liv Morgan versus Asuka. I'm quite sure our review of this match is going to last longer than the actual match did.
Yes.
Asuka took Liv Morgan down to the ground, and she put her in a submission, and she lost. This wasn't even the mauling that we thought it was going to be. It's like shit. Asuka had some popcorn in the microwave backstage and was like, look, I got to, get to this.
Yeah.
She put it in before the match started and was able to go get it.
I do.
Right
I wasn't like. I do feel bad for Liv Morgan because they did put emphasis on her on how important that she wanted to beat Asuka. So I really would have liked to see a little bit of fire because, again, I need the other person, at least the face in this at this matter, to at least come out looking good.
No, I like this.
I just wanted to see like what Liv Morgan could do. That's just me.
I like this because they're not faking the funk here. They are acknowledging exactly what's going on in the division, and Asuka has been telling us this literally every single week. She said nobody is ready for Asuka. And with all of the women leaving NXT, Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, Carmella, Bayley, there's a huge void at the top. And
True.
I want the people in the division to go on a journey before they even touch Asuka, or before they even look competitive. And maybe this was the start of Liv Morgan's journey.
And again, like, even though I really want to see Ember Moon versus Asuka, right now we got some stuff we got to get through before we get to that point. So save that for Dallas if you're back there next year.
Okay, and the final match of the night was Lince Dorado versus Hideo Itami. Hideo Itami wins. Hideo Itami wins with the GTS in what was a very bland match.
Yeah.
It seemed like they were phoning it in to me.
I honestly, I feel this episode was pretty more to establish the NXT Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Not really so much because it kind of felt, for me, it kind of felt the same way it did last year after Brooklyn, because as soon as this tournament was announced, that's when they put the importance on. This was the only thing that they need to focus on. Everything that was small, they kind of just like shoehorned in for like a second, but the overall Tag Team Classic was the overall importance for NXT Weekly TV.
Yeah, and then we had Austin Aries after the match attack Hideo Itami.
He's a dick.
Yes, and I love it.
Yeah, and he's good at it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they're embracing that. Austin Aries he's good, but he is so unlikable.
Mm-hmm.
If you're about to wrestle him.
Wouldn't he be the perfect foil for Roman Reigns on Monday Night Raw?
No.
Because people detest him. No, I mean, because people hate him so much.
Yeah, you get somebody that can actually get some heat and, garner some favor.
Exactly, and he's always constantly, attacking people from behind and bullshitting, so he'd be, the perfect person to actually go after Roman. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that would be a good program.
I mean, it's worth exploring. Shit, they need to find something.
Hey, real quick to reply to John, and forgive me, man, I can't pronounce your last name, but John in the chat, he's saying Hideo Itami to me is kind of bland, not much to him as a character, and yeah, I agree with that, because even before he got hurt with his shoulder injury last year, to me he was underperforming.
Yeah,
a lot. Like he was definitely good in the ring. Like, I remember there was a series of matches that he had with Tyler Breeze. Like, I know they had 2 out of 3 falls match, which was good. But when it came to Hideo Itami, all I could get from him was the fact that he was a good wrestler, and that's it. You
know what? When I saw this match with Lince Dorado, while the match itself was not much, I was thinking I would have killed to see Itami in the Cruiserweight Classic. I think he would have done some good shit there.
Yeah. Replace Alejandro Saez or something.
I don't even remember who that is. So I guess yeah, replace him. So that's it for NXT, guys.
I cannot wait for that kickoff match for the Tag Team Classic next week. Like, I am such a fan of this tournament. It just gives that old school vibe of tag team wrestling, in my opinion, where you're just fighting not really for a championship, but you are fighting for a prize, and that prize is just in the honor of somebody else. Like, just an old school feeling. I love it.
Okay, we are about to go to calls now. We only are going to go for 2 calls because I kind of we have some stuff going on before the show, and I put the incorrect settings on the show. So, yeah, we only can accept 2 calls. But one of those 2, 347.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mike from New York.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike.
You're the Mike from Twitter, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That is me.
Yeah, I'm glad you called in early.
Yeah, you guys are...
Because, if you had waited until we actually started taking calls, we wouldn't have been able to get you, so. Welcome, Mike.
Yeah, nah. Got the whole show in tonight. But,
I've noticed some people do
man,
that, though. Like, they'll call in right when the show starts just to make sure they're online. Maybe I shouldn't have said that
because
now
they
everybody's
let you
going to
listen
start
to the
catching
show.
on.
Yeah, you got to start padding in. Where we call in as soon as the show starts.
Yeah. All right, what you got?
You said you didn't watch Raw this week, right?
I watched Roman Reigns versus Rusev, and that was it.
I didn't watch
Oh,
it.
yeah. Well, after that, you really didn't miss much, honestly.
Which is unfortunate.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's like it's a 3-hour show. I'm gonna be honest. I don't watch it. I don't watch the 3-hour live show. I watch it the next day on Hulu.
You are an
the
awesome
90-minute
guy.
version is still and the 90-minute version is still like a yawn fest.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, what are they doing? Because like the only thing really compelling me to watch it now is the Divas division and kind of the Universal title.
What?
The women's division.
Okay.
The women's
Oh,
division.
there we are, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's the women's division, by all means. But, that and the whole thing going on with Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, I'm kind of like, I'm not really compelled by them, you know? They're not really doing it for me for some reason, because it feels like almost like a stupid heel versus a stupid heel, or not a stupid heel, it's a cowardly heel versus a cowardly heel, and they're not like that in the ring at all.
The thing is, they
Like,
don't
these are
have.
two guys who could really go.
The thing is, they don't have defined characters.
Kevin Owens. I feel like Kevin Owens does, at least to better.
Yeah, he does, but
than
Seth
Zack
Rollins
does.
doesn't. Seth Rollins doesn't.
Yeah.
Like his
And
character.
with him not really being able.
Go ahead, man. My bad.
With him not really being able to compete on the show last week for whatever reason, he hurt his rib. Him coming
Kevin
out
Owens
did nothing. Yeah, no, Seth Rollins.
I'm saying Kevin Owens was the one that hurt him.
Oh, yeah. What did I say?
Well, I was just like adding that part on.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
No, continue. I was just interrupting you.
No, throw me off, Jay. Throw me off. But the whole thing with Enzo and Cass coming out, that made no sense. They should be tag team champions by now.
No.
Or at least like competing, because I was really hoping that the club would take the belts off New Day, because
I was
I'm
praying.
done with them. I was never really on the boat with them to begin with, so they should lose the belts yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And Enzo and Cass should be going for it against the club. That's what I want. I'm a tag team guy, Cass.
Yeah, good man.
But yeah, that's
Good man.
like the tag team championships really do mean something, and the New Day bring nothing to the tag team division as far as I'm concerned.
Ooh.
Golden Truth could.
What?
Yeah.
After all
Yeah,
the shade
this
one's
he's
for
thrown at New Day, your Golden Truth?
This one's for you. You want it? You got it? The Golden Truth. What's up? What's up?
What kind of crack are you smoking?
Okay,
Nah,
I'm getting off the gas train right now.
Now, honestly, if they did get behind Golden Truth, like they actually got like that veteran team, because if you think about it, they're the only veteran team on that roster.
No, you get out of here.
Yeah,
you were
it's
giving
real
me
better.
crap for liking the Shining Stars, but you're a Golden Truth fan? You
They are
can.
not a veteran team. They are two veterans who happen to be in a team. There's a difference.
Wait a minute, they got a team name now, okay, Jay? That's a legit team
Oh,
now.
and a T-shirt too. Can't forget about that. But my bad.
You mean that
Yeah, they got
ugly
a t-shirt.
T-shirt?
Hey, Sasha Banks wore that T-shirt. That means something.
No, it don't. It's still
Yeah,
ugly.
that they gave her one. She didn't buy it.
Oh man, you got anything else for us, Big Mike?
Oh, well, on the SmackDown side of things, I'm definitely enjoying John Cena. I really want him to win the belt. I know it's probably not going to happen, but after seeing what's been going on lately, I feel like he needs the win, and I want him to have the belt.
I wouldn't mind seeing him with the belt, but actually, here's the thing. I was thinking about this the other day. If you do want to go with the decision of having Cena win the belt, if it is at No Mercy, Have him pin Dean Ambrose.
I kind of disagree with you, my man. I feel like John Cena's at the point in his career where he no longer needs wins. Like, he's in the same boat as Chris Jericho. No matter where they are on the card, no matter what they're doing, they will always have credibility because he's John Cena or he's Chris Jericho. I don't think he needs to win the belt or win very much at all anymore. Maybe I'm wrong, but like I feel like they're on the same boat, man.
Well, I think that if I could possibly speak for you, Mike, or maybe even throw on my own opinion onto it, it's
Absolutely.
that, like, looking at John Cena, people always look at him from that perspective, and, you know, it's just such the big star that he is, and, you know, he doesn't need this or he doesn't need that. That is technically true, but sometimes, I mean, like, you would have to give me a very convincing case as to why John Cena shouldn't win another championship. Because as far as I'm concerned, if his character is knocking it out of the park and you could do something for the product overall and we can get an entertaining run out of John Cena, I'm like, shit, why not?
So, do you think Chris Jericho should be champion? He's really entertaining right now.
No. He's entertaining in a different way.
No, because he's
like,
not in the...
I like laughing at Chris Jericho.
I wouldn't call it entertaining.
Yeah, Jerry
So
just
it's like
loves
if-
laughing at people's misery.
I'm saying, in a month, let's say Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens are feuding. You wouldn't want to see that for the championship?
No.
No.
Well, for the championship, maybe,
No.
but him winning, definitely not.
See, I
I
don't
don't
know.
even want to see him for the title. Jericho, he hasn't been consistent. It's like the old Dolph Ziggler getting a championship shot out of nowhere. Yes, Jericho was the first undisputed champion. How many years ago? What have you done for me lately?
Well, he
John
beat
Cena,
Sami
on the other
Zayn,
hand, he's in headlining.
Everybody beats Sami
Excuse me?
Zayn.
not Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens beat him a few weeks ago.
I'm just saying, man.
That's a good point. I'll give you that. That is a good one. I forgot about Sami Zayn. Hello? Am I alone yet?
Yeah, we're here.
Oh, sorry. I cut out for a second. I don't know what happened.
Sami Zayn gets mentioned, everyone goes dead. I feel like that's how the writing room is.
Yeah.
It's like,
Unfortunately.
Sammy?
All right, boys. So what do we got for Sammy?
What?
Sammy.
You mean the cab driver?
The cab driver. Yeah, he could be Kevin Owens' chauffeur.
Oh, that would be
That could be like a new
fantastic.
dynamic.
What's that?
It'd be like that Seinfeld episode.
That match that Nikki and Brie had, to where one of them had to be the other servant. Yeah, do that for Kevin Owens and.
No, I don't want to see it because that was one of the most terrible storylines I've ever seen in my life.
Well, luckily WWE they said fuck it and made them sisters again. Well, they were always sisters, but made them cool.
Yeah, I was gonna
And
say,
now
they
I'm
could never
gonna-
not be sisters.
Yeah, now you can't wait for. I know Jay, you're gonna be on that Total Bellas mess. That's
Yes.
gonna
Thank you
I
for
will.
using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Oh shit. Well, I guess that's. No, we still have one more call, I believe. Oh nope, the calls are all done. Shit.
Well,
Yeah.
shit.
I told you. I apologize, guys. I told you I screwed up on the settings because there's a lot of technical BS. I'm not gonna send you guys through.
You fucked up.
It was your fault, Cass.
Oh.
Because you're the one who pushed the show back, or you wanted to push the show back. So I pushed the show back 30 minutes to accommodate you.
Yeah, Cass, how you doing?
And, I could say that you sent me the message, hours ago.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't get the notification, and somehow, some way, that's still your fault. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
you doing?
But, we're going to... I guess we'll have to wait until next week to resume the calls, guys. Anything before we head off air?
Before we head off air, I just want to give a shout out. I was in chat last week with everybody. I'm not sure if you guys are paying attention, but I got everybody in the
trolling.
chat
Yeah, I saw
to
you.
push Eric Rowan. Push Eric Rowan.
God.
Just want to give a shout out to all of my Rowan fanatics,
This
Team
is a different
SmackDown.
chat, though. Like,
No, it wasn't.
No,
Yeah, it was.
No, I'm saying like the PWF Empire podcast chat and the PWF Empire live chat are completely different. Like the people in the PWF Empire podcast chat, like they
yeah, they're intelligent.
I don't know. I was looking down there in the chat, and I saw some people with Eric Rowan as their profile picture.
Here's the thing: the people in this chat are intelligent,
so I can kick them out.
The PWF Empire Live are smart. See the difference?
Oh. Man, you two just turned heel on our crowd.
I know. The crowd that's in here right now, they're cool.
Yeah.
I'm a rile up the other crowd.
Oh God.
No, but in all seriousness, just want to say thanks for having me on. I'm looking forward to me and Jay and some other people. We have some stuff. We might start talking about another promotion soon. Don't get out your pitchforks, please. This is Pro Wrestling Talk Radio.
No, it's not.
Well, you know what I mean. Pro Wrestling Fan Nation Empire something.
Oh, God.
I don't fucking know.
Just stop.
You don't even know the name of the website or the show. God.
This has been a long show with a lot of technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Technically, this show is 14 minutes shorter than what it usually is, so that excuse doesn't work. What else you got so I can go ahead and knock that down too?
Oh, fuck, nothing now, man. I'm done.
In for Raw next week because you got the Cruiserweight Championship, Brian Kendrick versus TJ Perkins, which I don't know why is happening, and Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for like the umpteenth time for the Women's Championship. So this is, and people, let me tell you something real quick. This is TNA booking what they're doing for Raw right now by having 2 championship matches every single week.
And the part that kills me about that is you don't even add importance to your fucking titles to make something like this deliver a rating, because what they're doing is we're gonna put these titles on the line and people are gonna tune in because of course they're championship matches. But if you don't tell us on a consistent basis that these championships mean something, what the hell do you think this is gonna do? Look at the fact that we didn't even see the Cruiserweight champion on the day that the Cruiserweight division debuted. Then you also have Charlotte. She got beat by Bayley just a few weeks ago. Now Bayley's completely out of the picture. But I'm not going to harp too much on what they're doing with Charlotte because at least when it counts, they're doing good shit with Charlotte. But I really like her character. But it's just that an overall philosophy in WWE, they need to change the way that they do things. Stop giving us lip service, telling us how important the titles are when you don't tell us that on a consistent basis through the storytelling. Because when you don't do that, I mean, what's the effect going to be? You're telling people to tune in because we're going to have these 2 titles that last week we didn't want you to give a fuck about, but we want you to care about them right now. No, that ain't going to work.
Oh, hey, Andrew, real quick, are you going to be tuning in to WWE Superstars and Main Event this week? We got some fantastic matches on Main Event. We got Kane versus... Yeah, we got Kane versus Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews versus Tyler Breeze. And on Superstars, we got Sami Zayn versus Curtis Axel and Noah versus Jinder Mahal. This is going to be great.
What brand is Tyler Breeze even on?
SmackDown.
Wow.
But here's the thing. People, watch Main Event because it's actually good. No. And plus, it features SmackDown people, so it makes sense.
I'm right there. You know what, dude? I'm right there with you because I think I addressed this last time I was on the show. I'm more of a strict in wrestling, like actual in-match guy. Like, I care more about the match than I do the characters. And when you're watching Main Event or Superstars, that's what you're watching. And not only that, you get to watch wrestlers who don't really get an opportunity every week, like Tyler Breeze.
Amen.
When's the last time you saw him wrestle a match that was more than 5 minutes on SmackDown or Raw?
And plus, Main Event features, again, this week, Kane versus Baron Corbin.
See, this is why I like having you on the show, Andrew, because we are polar opposites.
Yeah, I know. I'm a big Zack Sabre Jr. Mark. Just bought his T-shirt. Will be coming in soon. And you are not. I wish you guys wouldn't get so quiet when I say things.
You stop saying such ridiculous things then.
Oh, I guess fair enough. All right, so all I will say is next time I'm on the show, I will be better. I will rebuild. I will... So is this not...
Redesign!
Redesign, rebuild, reclaim.
Reclaim.
Yeah, I will do all those things.
But going back to what you were talking about a few minutes ago, we may start discussing what culture pro wrestling.
WCPW. It is a wrestling promotion based off the What Culture YouTube channel. It is a wrestling
show.
Can I
just say that I'm like so fucking jealous that they have their own wrestling promotion. So jealous.
And it's big too. Like this week on this Saturday, the main event, Drew Galloway is going to be fighting for the What Culture Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. That's a long title name.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, like, they have a lot of stars there, and a lot of their homegrown talent or people that you may not recognize otherwise are really good. Go watch some Martin Kirby matches. He is fantastic.
Okay, so I have never seen WCPW before, and I'm gonna start watching it soon.
But you've seen TNA.
Yeah, I started watching TNA because of Christian back when he was there years ago. Fun fact. But when it comes to What Culture Pro Wrestling, I've never seen that before. I'm going to start watching it, so if you've never seen it before, feel free to join me on this journey. And, if I like what I see, we'll talk about it on the show. Maybe even if I don't like what I see.
I tell you what, Jay. The first maybe 2 episodes, they were still getting their feet on the ground. They're not that great. They're not bad. But lately, the last about 5 or so episodes, they've really hit their groove. So it takes a little while. I mean, it's got to be hard for a YouTube channel to set up a wrestling promotion. It's not going to be smooth when you first start it, no matter how big your channel is.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone in the chat, give it a chance. Hopefully, we can all agree we all like it. And if you hate it, it's okay. I can just go and continue to enjoy it by myself.
Okay, and also, what else do we have? Thoughts on WWE maybe buying TNA? I guess that'll be our last topic.
I like it because it gives opportunities to some of the people in TNA to actually get some money. Actually get paid on time.
That's your cue, Cass.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You were supposed to say shade.
Oh yeah, just complete shade on everything. But
plus,
the team.
Go ahead,
Andrew.
I'm looking forward to the Zack Ryder Robbie E feud that'll be happening.
That'd be fantastic. To be honest with you, like if you people, hey Jab, do you know who Jesse Gazer is?
Yeah, from Big Brother.
Okay, good. Yeah, honestly, if you put Zack Ryder with Robbie E and Robbie T and Jesse Gazer together, man, that'd be a fantastic.
Robbie
team.
E, Robbie T, Jesse G.
Yeah, there you go. And Zach R.
No, that doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't quite mix in there.
A lot of stuff with Zack Ryder doesn't work.
But
the Long Island IZ, there we go.
WWE possibly buying out TNA. Again, and I think we talked about this with Dalton last week. I said I feel as if the only value that WWE would see of buying TNA is just to have their head on their own mantle. Mm-hmm. Like, we're just going to be like...
See, that's something that I did not think about last week, because I'm like, WWE buying TNA, yeah, whatever. But just to say that they bought it, that has some value.
I mean, they will get all their value back with just like 2 wrestlers, like, because if they buy it out, they have Jeff Hardy's contract. Jeff Hardy in WWE is money. You know what I mean?
But yeah, it would be money, but I've heard and I've read some of the articles with the interviews that they've done. Matt and Jeff don't want to work a full-time schedule with WWE. Like, honest, they don't work because honestly, what the broken Matt Hardy's brilliance has done for TNA. Like, here's the thing: you don't get any better if the cameras are willing to come to your house and film you doing crazy stuff. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. And I just don't think that they would be willing to work a full-time schedule because they're just content where they're at.
Well, I mean, they won't have a choice if they have their contract.
Well, here's the thing: like, if they would go to WWE, they would get control of their indie dates. And
no, of course, Matt would. Jeff is under written contract. Matt's an open contract, but Jeff is contractually obliged to be at TNA, which means he would be contractually obliged to be at WWE.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like when it comes to like WWE buying, like again, I think it's if they would just want the video library, because again, it just has guys like Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, Austin Aries,
AJ.
James, yeah, AJ Styles, definitely. Like I see them just wanting TNA for that because honestly, unlike EC3, Lashley,
Is Amazing Red still in TNA?
oh no, he left a long time ago. Like,
I
dude,
told you, I haven't watched TNA in a long time.
dude,
man.
like if you would see the roster the way they are right now, they have some good hands, but you can tell that almost all of the mid-card guys do pretty much the same thing because they're just so generic, but it works for them. Like, oh, and Mike Bennett, other than those guys, I don't see any people that WWE would want to take. I really don't see that.
You know, I hope
Lashley's coming back.
I hope TNA finds another buyer other than WWE just for the sake of Cody Rhodes. Because I'll be damned if he gets away from WWE like I am finally free, and then ends up right back there.
Oh, speaking of
he
this,
walks in the door and Vince is standing there with the Stardust costume.
Speaking of Cody,
welcome back, Cody.
Speaking of Cody, I don't know if you heard, Jay, but he will be making his debut this Sunday at Bound for Glory.
If we get a show.
Isn't Damian Sandow in TNA?
Yeah. Yes, as Aaron Rex.
Well, I don't really care much for him. But
well, here's the thing.
Saying, like, he just left, and now he's coming back, maybe.
but here's the thing. I will say this, though. Get this. They're not even letting Cody Rhodes they're not even using his full name because, one, they can't. So they're just calling him Cody.
Yeah.
They're just calling him that, but real quick, I want to plug in TNA Bound for Glory this Sunday because we have a really stacked card. We have what else? What do we have? Oh yeah, we have Moose taking on the Miracle Mike Bennett. This feud has just been fantastic. I wish you guys would have seen it, but yeah, that's gonna be a good match. We have Gail Kim versus Maria Kanellis for the Knockouts Championship. That should be something fine. Good to see Gail
still around.
Yeah, Gail Kim, she's actually going into the Hall of Fame this Sunday. Also, Aaron Rex taking on Drew Galloway to determine the new Grand Champion of TNA.
Is the Grand Champion, is that code for most disgruntled former WWE employee?
No, like it's actually a belt that's determined by MMA rules. Like it's a new completely revamped, and also we'll have a Bound for Gold matchup, which is basically a 10-man gauntlet to determine who gets their own championship match. What else do we have on this fine card? Oh, we have, get this, I think you guys actually might want to tune in for this one. In Matt Hardy's words, The Great War. The Hardys taking on Decay for the TNA World Tag Team titles. And in the main event, it will be EC3 challenging the Destroyer Lashley for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship.
If I knew who half those people were, it would sound like a good card.
You can catch it on the WWE Network this Sunday.
Oh, God. No, yeah. I said I'd stop throwing shade at TNA. Okay.
I
guess I'm going to have to stop soon because, you know.
What's happening to this show? We're just gonna start throwing shade every week.
Yes, I'm gonna have a soundboard next week, and I'm gonna have you saying shade. Every time I'm gonna push the button on the soundboard. But yeah, that's it for PWF Empire's the PWF Empire podcast this week. Last words, Andrew.
Like I said, thanks for having me on. It's me. It's the AND, Rue. Thank you for having me, guys. I always love being on. I'm sure you guys enjoy at least hearing me try to bullshit my way through this. But
yeah, I do. I like that little AND Drew thing too, or Rue. Yeah, that was cool. All right, what you got, Cass? Give us a cool way to say your name.
I need to come up with one. Give me a week.
Okay. And that's how we're kicking off next week's episode, so make sure you're ready. Actually, I guess I'll save that story for next week. Because I had a dream about Sasha Banks.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, man.
Plug your ears, children.
Yes.
He's going to be making deposit in that bank statement.
Oh, God. Okay, guys, that's it for the podcast this week. We'll catch you next week. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.